I have Motion Pro, so black frame insertion, and motion interpolation working at the same time, and this is looking unreal. I have the game running at 30 frames per second, and with this combination, this is looking like 240 frames per second. Okay, so we are not talking about not only it's not only 120, it's 120 with Motion Pro on high. So that looks better than 240 frames sample and hold. You understand the awesomeness of this setting. It does have defects, and hopefully you can see it on the video. But despite the defects, this is just jaw-dropping. Jaw-dropping. And I'm gonna show you my controller here so you can see the input lag. It's actually very, very good. So the first time I tried this on the channel, see if you can see the remote. Okay, the controller. The first time I tried this on the channel, I said, man, the input lag is too bad. And it was bad. It was terrible. I don't know what happened. Maybe it was a firmware update. Maybe I didn't have the Nvidia ultra low latency mode on the Nvidia control panel. I don't know, man, but this is unreal. I'm playing the game right now at 6K. 6K using Nvidia deep learning super resolution. And I have all the graphics maxed out with extra details. This is Watch Dogs 2, which is very, very demanding. And it feels amazing. So it feels very, very good. Like this is playing very well. The input lag is very, very good. Totally usable. I'm so impressed, man. This is looking unreal. Unreal. So it does have some defects. I dare you to find it. I am recording right now at 1080p 60. So hopefully you can see some of the fluidity. Of course, you cannot see the same fluidity I have in front of me. But you can imagine I am combining 120 frames with Motion Pro. So that gives you 400. That gives you 480. 240. I'm sorry, 240 frames fluidity. And here's the thing. Let me show you another thing. This motion interpolation is actually in combination with Motion Pro is actually not taking such a big hit in the brightness. So I'm using right now HLG HDR. So this is like the ultimate, the ultimate cheating setup. So this is an SDR game that we are converting to HDR using this HLG trick. And we are converting 30 frames to 240 frames. So this is just magic. What this TV is doing right now for this game is magic. I don't have other way to describe this. So you see tone mapping off, and with tone mapping off, Motion Pro on high is usually too dark. It's impossible to use. But this motion interpolation is not, is making that Motion Pro a lot brighter for some reason. I don't know what's going on. So I don't know what's going on here, man, but this is unreal. So let me get out of the cart to show you some artifacts, because probably while I was driving, you were not able to see any defects. But there are some defects. So if I do this, if I pan the camera, you can see like the character, it has a ghost. But we are playing games right now with TAA, which has ghosting, and it is terrible. I would say it's even worse than this. It has sometimes 3, 4, 5 characters that you can see when you pan the camera. And on top of that, the games are coming on the console with motion blur. So they are coming with TAA, which is horrendous, which is super blurry, and with motion blur on top of that. So you're gonna tell me that you cannot live with this defect here? Come on. What are you talking about? This looks insane. Insane. If you try this, so let me do this. I have right now a game, so I am using standard mode and I'm using console mode. So no PC mode, I'm using console mode. So I have this game, this mode here, Cinema, which is just HLG HDR and no motion interpolation or anything. This looks eye-searing, okay? Eye-searing, like Digital Foundry, this guy likes to say. So I have here no, you see the settings, I have here no motion clarity setting, okay? So this is off. So 30 frames. I'm gonna go back and forth here. And you might be able to see the difference on the video, because if the video is recording at 60, this looks horrendous. So bad, like I cannot even look at it when I pan the camera. So when I do this, oh my god. It's a god tier upgrade, man. God tier. And as I show you, the input lag is actually low. It's low. I am used to play at 100 frames. I played this game at 100 frames, play Spider-Man at 100 frames. Some games I played at 60 with black frame insertion. So some games I even play at 120, like Nvidia, I'm playing it at 120 frames. Mad Max, like there are many games that I can do 120. So I know what that looks like, and I'm telling you, and I know how that feels. So if I change right now from this mode to no motion interpolation, this feels and looks so bad in comparison, especially how it looks. So terrible. This is unplayable to me. It's eye-searing. If I do this, it's like, wow, what just happened? I'm gonna go back and forth. You might be able to see it on the video. I'm gonna go back and forth here. Let me see if I can drive. I have to get another car. See if I can drive and change this at the same time, so you can see the difference. Okay, let's see if I can get this motor here. This is just insane, man. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna pan the camera, and at the same time, so not so fast so you can see it on the video, because if I do it too fast, you might not be able to see it. So this is eye-searing. I'm gonna change it to standard. Wow. My goodness. Is night and day. And I am especially surprised to see the brightness is not being affected that much with the Motion Pro. Wow, man, it's insane difference. So let me show you actually that Motion Pro, it is working. It is working. Let me show you. If I turn it off, you will see, I'm gonna describe to you the clarity, how it goes down, and you will see the screen brightness going up. If I turn this off, boom, screen brightness goes up, and I see it looks sample and hold blurry, but because it's 120 frames, it's not that bad. But this is just another level. So to explain you, this De-Judder works at 30 frames. So this is basically for low frame rate. And De-Blur is for 60 frames. So you can also use this technique to go from 60 to 120. Okay? So maybe for PC gaming that makes more sense. set the game to 60 frames and maybe use these two. But here's the thing: at 60 frames on the PC with Motion Pro on high, you do get some flickering, but that looks very, very good without any artifacts. So maybe it's not gonna be worth the trade-off of getting some artifacts, even if it looks better. So I'm gonna try that, and I'm gonna make a video about it. But yeah, this is just amazing. So I'm gonna show you on part 3. So I just wanted to do this part 2 because on the first I didn't talk about the combination of motion interpolation and black frame insertion at the same time, because I thought this was not working, because I tried that before and it was not working. And also the input lag, it was horrendous the first time that I tried this. It was so bad. But now I would even play a shooter like this. I'm gonna try a shooter and see if it makes sense to even play a shooter like this, because it is good. So yeah, I'm gonna do part 3, maybe part 4. I want to show you many examples, many games, because people tell me on the comments, oh no, the input lag is very bad, this doesn't make any sense for PC gaming. Well, if you can get 6K on a game, max settings, 6K, no anti-aliasing, and the game looking like 240 frames with some minor artifacts, that makes sense. It's not that I'm gonna play like that. I much rather play, at 100 frames, even at 60 maybe, Motion Pro. But this is worth trying, for sure. This is definitely worth trying. It is jaw-dropping. Jaw-dropping. So I'm going to keep exploring it, and I'm going to turn off that Nvidia ultra-low latency from the control panel and see how bad it is. Maybe LG with a firmware update just improved this massively, because last time I tried this, it was not usable. And now it is amazing. So yeah, I'm going to keep exploring this, and I'm going to do, I'm going to show you many games and give you my opinion. Shooters, third person games, action adventure, like Tomb Raider games, Spider-Man, Red Dead Redemption, Destiny, I don't know, everything, and see in what game this makes more sense. But if you have a console and a game like Red Dead Redemption, which is locked to 30 frames, this is a no-brainer, in my opinion. There's no way. I don't care that, some motion artifacts or whatever. 30 frames on this OLED TV looks bad. It looks horrendous, because of the pixel response time is so fast that it's not smoothing out the motion at all. It's looking super shaky. So this is a no-brainer. I would never play 30 frames if I have this option. There's no way this is better. I mean, this is eye-searing. So bad. The difference is not, it's like 8 times better. It's not a little bit better. It's not double better. It's like 8 times better. So it doesn't matter that that is not perfect. It doesn't matter that it has some motion artifacts. The difference is just gigantic. So yeah, I'm just going to explore more games. I'm going to explore that latency. Maybe that Nvidia ultra low latency mode is doing magic, and on the console you have to turn off that ALLM. Some people told me on the comment that in order for you to have access to those options, you need to turn off that on the console. So I'm gonna try and see how big of a difference Nvidia is doing here, and turn that off and see how bad it is. And yeah, if that is bad, I can definitely understand why people would say that on the console it's not usable. I don't know why you have to turn that off on the console. To be honest, I see no reason. If I can have it on the PC, I don't see any reason why on the console you would have to turn that off. So you see some defects like some ghosting and motion, interpolation artifacts. It's called soap opera effect, but it is so impressive. So yeah, let me know what you think.